6:03.
Are we live? Is everything working?
It better be. I double-checked everything. Made a list and checked it twice.
Aw. I get that reference.
There's like a concerned-looking bib for... Oh yeah, check out new Lego cam. Concerned-looking bib Fortuna. Use that one.
I wonder if it should be a little bit bigger. But we
Well,
can...
yeah, that's just the layout we have for now.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But I'm excited that we got a second camera set up here.
If you want it bigger, boom.
Ooh, and then we're little. Put your hand behind it. There you go.
Concerned bib Fortuna.
YouTube just had a pop-up that said, now would be a good time to insert ads.
We just started.
We just started.
We just got here.
YouTube, jeez, calm your buns. Let us know if the audio sounds good, if anything looks or sounds weird. We're doing this in a little bit different setup. Because Alex cleaned his office. You can't see it, but
I promise it's clean.
It's more clean in here than it normally is.
It's pretty nice. Not having to walk
Star
around
Wars
everything.
is here.
What?
Star Wars says I like the new setup.
Aw.
Cheers, Star Wars.
Thanks, Star Wars.
Happy holidays. Happy Life Day.
Happy Life Day.
Clink. Ann Porkins says, congrats on the clean office. Truly a Life Day miracle.
It really is. I say it all the time, but Ann Porkins, that name brings me so much joy.
It really
as a big
does.
Parks and Rec fan. But yeah, my office in here looked a lot like Leslie Knope's house in season 2 in the episode The Party.
Sure. We know that show very, very well.
We're in the middle of a rewatch right now.
What's up to our channel members? We've got David, Afro Dave, John DeLong, Jeannie from Tahini, Gio Flores. Hello, Sean Sully. Our lovely moderator, who I just sent out a bunch of presents to Sean and Jill in the mail today. Hopefully they get there in one piece.
I said no, let's not send them presents. And Molly was like, no, we have to. Because Molly's a good person.
You heard it here, folks.
I was like, no. Not until they move here.
They don't get any love from us until they
withhold all the presents until they're
move
here.
to Georgia. Was the office dirty or just cluttered? More cluttered.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't actual dirt in here.
No.
But
just stuff.
It could probably use a good vacuum.
I mean, I did immediately replace a pile of stuff with a pile of presents that I have to wrap. But yeah. It was more just having to step over a bunch of Star Wars reference books and stuff that I had just neglected to put back on the shelf. Because I'll pull it out, I'll read it in my chair, find what I need, and then put it on the book pile and go back to work.
I wonder if having that extra chair over there next to your desk encourages the book pile.
It does do that.
You should just put a bookcase over there. That's what we should do with that other little bookcase.
It's not a bad idea.
Put it right next to your desk. And then you can make that the book pile.
That's a good idea.
Where the books live.
Yeah, just move it from one bookcase to another.
Gaz Nottingham asked for some Rise of Skywalker love, I think. Because
I don't know if today is the 5th year anniversary, but we were talking this morning on our walk, it's the fifth year since the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. Boy, seems like it's been ages since we've been in the theater for Star Wars movie, but I have my thoughts about Rise of Skywalker, but overall, it's one of the
Babu Frick.
It gave us Babu Frick. It's one of the funnier Star Wars movies.
I agree with that.
There's a lot of great humor in it.
I liked J.J. Abrams and his sense of humor for Star Wars. Mm-hmm. I liked a lot of the jokes in The Force Awakens as well. But yeah, lots of good little jokes in Rise. Rey igniting the lightsaber and then Poe with his dinky little flashlight.
Oh,
That sound design is so good.
the sound effect for his flashlight is like top 10 of my favorite sound effects.
I actually was just I'm working on a video. If I grew up on the old like essential guide books that they had in the 90s. It was like essential guides to planets or aliens or vehicles or characters. I loved those books. And so I was like, I'm going to do one for Star Wars. And the Essential Planets Volume 1 is like all the live action movies. So I was like looking at Pisana and just that scene with all the Aki doing their dance. I was like, this is cool. I like the Aki.
I do too. It's nice to get a glimpse into the lives of something brand new in Star Wars. Even though it's another like desert planet, it looks very similar to Tatooine. The species there and like everything that they're doing is all very new and exciting. And like it was, we all remember Rey going to Takodana and being like, wow, I haven't seen this much green. I didn't know this much green existed in the galaxy. And then when she goes to Pisana, she has this like just delighted look on her face, just seeing the Aki celebrating and having fun. And it's really sweet. All right, let's get into some super chats. I will try to be reading regular chat as well, but the super chats will be more of a priority since I have the ability to pay a little more attention to chat in this rather than our other streams. I can keep an eye on both. Let's see. First one comes from Alex Mary. Thank you, Alex. Has the Empire ever been shown to rescue its injured troops or damaged ships? You guys are awesome. Thank you. Does the Empire care enough about their troops or ships to rescue them when they are damaged / injured?
I'm trying to think of a time when the Empire willingly did that. Han Solo got kicked out. Well, not kicked out, but sent to Mimban for rescuing troops that had fallen behind twice. Once in the Han Solo Imperial Cadet comic, he and his crew saved Bylert Valance, who had been shot down behind enemy lines. And then in the Solo deleted scene, he also would have helped a pilot that needed help. So that comes to mind, but that was definitely against Imperial like mandate. I feel like Thrawn would be the kind of person to save someone, especially if they were a good, military asset. But he's definitely not the kind of person to just waste his troops.
Mm-hmm.
But again, he was not the norm for the Empire.
Yeah. I feel like out of the two, the Empire would be a lot more liable to save their equipment and their ships if it was like something new and important rather than care much about their stormtroopers enough to save them if they're injured, which sucks, but
I feel like
that's just the Empire for you.
I feel like there's an example that I'm just not remembering. I feel like it has to have happened once. But
I'm sure it has. I mean, the big one that comes to my mind, it's not really equipment, and it is a person, not quite the Empire yet, but they did save Anakin.
Yeah.
Does that count?
Well, they were the Empire.
Palpatine was like, this is my number one priority.
Yeah, he's like, and he did what? He's on fire?
Literally on fire.
Oh my god. To bring it back to Parks and Rec, it's like that cold open where Leslie does the rap, and Ron's like, someone's on fire at Ramsden Park. They need you right away.
She's like, oh no.
Oh my god.
Real quick, vacation mode. Thank you so much for the very generous super chat. Just as a little fox or corgi.
Thank you, vacation mode.
With fireworks, and it's really cute.
It's very cute. It's all, well, we just kind of had our vacation mode this past weekend.
Yeah, we were away for the weekend. I was kind of sick the whole time, which sucked, but we're kind of, yeah, back in work mode now. As much as I'm loving Skeleton Crew, it feels a little bit weird covering a show during the holidays just because we can't be quite as relaxed and lazy as we normally are
Well,
this time of year, but
it's
it's fun.
funny, like it used to be that December was the busy time. A movie
Oh,
would come
yeah.
out, or like The Mandalorian and a movie were coming out. Um, but yeah, the first two seasons of Mando were in the later part of a year, and then we just like the last few years, nothing's really been coming out in December, so we've gotten complacent.
That's true. Maybe it's that. Let's see. We haven't talked much about I mean, I guess it's in the thumbnail and the title, but we're still working on the sail barge. We haven't gotten very
What, you
far.
can't tell? Is yeah, you can kind of see me putting stuff together.
Yeah. It is such a small little window. I don't know if that helps or not. I guess you could zoom it in a little bit, but
I can always just do boop. Ta-da.
ta-da!
Look.
How,
Look how blocky it is.
how many bags are in this set?
Are you asking, or is someone in chat
Oh, I'm
asking?
just asking.
I
Like,
don't know.
it's a pretty big set, right?
Yeah, if someone in chat were asking, I was going to Google it. If it's just you, I'm going to tell you.
If
I
it's
don't know.
just me, who cares?
No, I don't break out Google for you.
Only when you want to prove that I'm wrong about something. Oh, Ann Porkins asked how many bags are in the set. Thank you, Ann.
And Porkins.
While you look that up, I will read our next super chat from Lightspeed Bear. Neil fainting. You know what? Just shoot me. And how many hides? Got such a laugh out of me. Love the series. Great character, humor, and dialogue. I agree. Skeleton Crew is just knocking it out of the park for me so
It-
far.
Kind of like The Rise of Skywalker, Skeleton Crew's humor is landing very well for me.
Mhm.
I think it's very funny. This set is 35 bags.
Oh, that's a lot of bags.
Yeah, very funny show.
Pablo Hall says, just got my tickets to Japan. Nice. I'll see you there.
We will see you there. We need to. We've got most of our big planning done. Got our flights, got our hotels. Just got to figure out what we're gonna do while we're out there.
Eat.
So much ramen, so much sushi.
I will eat all the food. That's always my number one priority. Sorry, my voice is still gross from being sick. And now I'm drinking a beer, so that's helping, I'm sure. My number one priority on every vacation is eating, for the most part, eating, drinking, being merry.
Yep. I mean, I agree.
Ooh, Maddie says I got the bar crawl planned out.
Nice.
That sounds promising. We've never been to Japan before, so this will be our first time. So we usually end up doing quite a bit of work during celebrations, but we've got some other stuff planned before and after.
We're going early.
Yeah.
Kind of like we did with London. We went, although London had Mando season 3 and the Bad Batch on, so it was still a busy time. But Japan, I'm looking forward to that.
We planned out enough time to hopefully it feels like a vacation on top of a little bit of a work trip for us. Either way, it's going to be a lot of fun. And the plane ride is not that bad. What, like 13 hours?
I think 14 and a half, but
14 and a half.
I'll survive. I'll play Metroid Dread
I mean,
3 times.
yeah. Oh, Yeti Boatman is in the
What?
chat.
I know him. I know that man.
Says, hey guys, glad you survived the vacation weekend. I survived, but just barely.
We talked about your scavenger hunt in the Q&A that we filmed earlier today,
It's true.
and I yelled at you for icing me.
Was that him or was that someone else?
I mean, I figured it was part of the scavenger hunt. It was him.
Oh.
It was him.
Oh. Yeah, Alex took many for my team as far as drinks go that night. Andy says, if I can survive those flights, you can. You're right.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'll just do what I did for London and watch an entire season of Drag Race or something.
I have like a weird relationship with flying. Like I get plane anxiety during the takeoff and the landing. Once we're in the air, I'm like, this is great. Like I'm just stuck up here. I'm gonna watch movies and play my Switch and
I really don't mind flying. I'm not going to say that I like it, especially not a long flight. I don't mind a short flight, really. But I don't really get any anxiety. The one thing that does really bug me on flights is if there's a crying baby nearby.
sure.
That's just...
No one likes that.
And yeah, not even the parents like that. No one can really...
They're not happy about it.
No one can really avoid that. You gotta take your baby with you. I get it. I'm not gonna be taking it out on anybody particularly. It's just unfortunate. But I typically don't go into flights trying to sleep a lot because it's kind of hard
It sucks so
for me to
much.
try to fall asleep. But once I do fall asleep, there's very little that will wake me up.
I can't sleep on planes for more than like half an hour at a time. So I'm like, I need so many games and so many movies. But yeah, I am so psyched for that. I guess once Skeleton Crew is over and we have some time, we'll start planning out what we're gonna do.
Yeah. Someone asked me, are you guys going economy? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cheapest flights possible, please. Not the cheapest, but like we're not flying
The first class, I was like, oh my God.
We're not
I mean,
flying
we don't fly first class
anywhere
in the country.
No,
And
no.
I was like, let me look and just see. And then I was like, ugh.
We don't fly that often. We don't have a ton of miles saved up or any of that stuff. So when we fly, it's in the back of the plane. And I honestly don't mind. It's nice and warm and cozy back there. That's where all the cool kids are. So
Back of the bus, back of the plane.
oh, international flights, you get free wine.
Oh yeah.
At least on Delta you do.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
I'm
free
happy.
wine. It's like free liquor too.
Anywhere on that plane you want to put me.
Yeah.
Because I'll be passed out soon. Thanks to that.
Our flight is in the morning, I believe, going out, but that won't stop me. On the way home, it'll be in the evening. So at least then it'll be appropriate.
So James Iron asks, what's the longest flight you think you could manage without your soul being destroyed? So the longest flight we've ever taken so far has been...
Italy?
Was it Italy or was it
Pretty sure.
Sweden?
Pretty sure it was Italy. I mean, Sweden had
Is that like 11 hours?
something like that. Sweden had you had to change planes.
That's right. We got
Italy
off
was
at...
direct, and we got lucky and found a direct Japan. Like I will always try to go direct over stopping. I don't like having to navigate a strange airport.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not looking forward to a 14-hour flight, but when I saw that, I was like, that's not so bad. If you're getting into like the 20 hours,
Ugh.
which I assume would include a change, I would not be happy about that.
Yeah. Charlie the Unicorn says 14 to 16 hours is doable. The Denver to Mumbai, India
God.
is close to 20 hours. Ugh. That would suck. Yeah, I know the flight from here to like Australia / New Zealand is pretty long, but
Yeah, that's like anytime I look at that's bucket list level stuff, going to Australia and New Zealand.
but I feel like the destination is worth it.
Yes. And I feel like Japan will be training us for it.
Yeah. Let's see. Post sent a super chat. Thank you, Post. Just says happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you. Happy Life Day,
Happy
which I know is
holidays.
in November, but
But yeah,
I feel like
life
it's Life Day goes from November 17th to December 31st.
Life Day's over. Let's talk about Death Day. Which, speaking of, you can't really see my sweatshirt, but it says Hail Santa.
Mine says
And it's
Star Wars
very
Jedi Fallen Order.
it's very rock and roll.
I do like that sweatshirt.
I really want to wear it on Christmas, but I don't think Alex's parents would appreciate it. Lightspeed has the next super chat. Just finished reading Light of the Jedi and The Rising Storm. Would I be okay reading just the adult novels, or do I need to read everything?
You would be okay for the most part. I definitely don't think you need to read everything. It's kind of one of those, the more you read, the more rewarding it is, especially in phase one. I'm listening to Hilo just snoring away.
Snoring.
But there are some young adult books that are very much worth reading. I think Into the Dark is worth it. Tears of the Nameless was absolutely worth it. That one had some big developments in it. But no, you don't have to read everything. If you just stuck to the adult books, you'd get the gist. Throw in maybe the main Marvel comic too. Like if you just paired those together, that would give you a solid feel for the whole story.
I've really been skipping around a lot in the High Republic. I feel a little bit guilty, but I've never been a big book reader. Like I don't read a ton of books, so I don't feel that bad skipping around. And I still love the High Republic. I still feel like I'm enjoying it, getting plenty out of it. And I've skipped a lot of the books. I skipped almost all of phase two, which I might go back and read some, but we just had a lot going on back then. But I am halfway through Tears of the Nameless. Once I get past that halfway point, usually I finish the book.
Yeah, Tears was great. But I will, like, most of my favorites of the High Republic have been the adult novels.
Yeah. It's funny, we have a Lightspeed who is a channel member, and we have Lightspeed Bear. And so now I'm...
Oh, Lightspeed is our new... I'm blanking. Our Jedi Council member. We gave... Hey, it's good to see you.
Okay. Hello, Lightspeed.
Gave a shout out on our Q&A.
Welcome. And then I put a message in the chat, but Emmy sent a super chat in, and it says message retracted. So if you have a message, just put it in the chat. I'll keep an eye out for it. Alex has another super chat. Thank you so much, Alex. Did your guys' college lives or previous jobs help with your current careers?
College, yes.
I'll let you go first.
But not because I went to class, because I blew it off and made videos and made a YouTube channel and I got a video to go viral on accident. I guess
like a long time ago.
Yeah. I did like this silly... I wanted to figure out how to do a Kamehameha in After Effects.
You say it so weird.
Kamehameha. How do you
Kamehameha.
say it? Kamehameha?
That's the like
That's not
American...
how Goku says it.
I know, it's like the American Southern slang way that I say it. Kamehameha.
Kamehameha, I think, is Hawaiian. Kamehameha is the energy blast that Goku...
Smarty pants.
I'm not Dragon Ball Z explained. But I wanted to try to do that in After Effects, and I thought it looked okay. And I had never seen anyone else talk about it, so I was like, I'll show how I did it on my YouTube channel. And then like some After Effects message board took it, and they were like, this is a great tutorial. And like that video got like 4 million views. And then in
Did you make any money off of it? at that
Yeah.
point?
Well, it back then that wasn't really a thing.
Yeah.
I did eventually turn it on, and I've made like $100 a month or so.
Wow.
Maybe 50 to 100, but yeah, like it was still getting solid views.
That planted a seed in your brain, and you were like,
Yeah.
I could do this.
Uh, and then one day in like 2011, I don't remember when I did this, but I accidentally deleted it.
I remember that.
That felt awful.
I remember that. Alex had a mental breakdown
That felt bad.
because he deleted all the videos on his old channel.
It was so stupid, like no one's fault but my own. I'd posted something that I wanted to show a friend and only a friend, so it was unlisted. Sent it, he saw it, he was like, haha, funny. And then I went to like hit the checkbox and say delete this video, and I hit the checkbox for the whole page and said, and I didn't have that many videos on that channel, so I was like, delete this video, and it comes up and says, you're about to delete every video on this page with a countdown timer. That it was like 10, 9, 8, and I was like, I know what I'm doing, and I was like,
God.
hurry up. And I deleted all of it. That felt bad.
Lesson learned.
Yeah, I mean,
read everything on the screen before you
I've
click
never
on
done
it.
that again.
Corey Loses says, I still remember Alex's Kamehameha tutorial.
You do?
I found that accidentally a few years ago and was so happy.
Yeah, I did re-upload it. It just doesn't have like 4 million views or whatever. We talk about this like probably once a year, but we do still have the lightsaber video my friends and I did in 2006, I think. Yeah, that sounds right. That's still up, and it's got like 1 million views. It's bad, but it's up there.
So nothing I did in college helped me going forward. Truly. Maybe some stuff, but I also didn't graduate. I dropped out. But
Oh, me too. I should say that. I was just like, I guess YouTube. I don't know.
But a lot of my previous jobs involved cameras, camera equipment, photography, some filming, but mostly just like still photography type cameras. So the reason why our stuff looks so good is thanks to me.
That's true. I don't know anything about cameras.
Yeah, so I already have plans for the new year of like creating a little bit of a different setup that might look a little cleaner. We'll see about that. Might be a while. But anyways, the cameras, the lights, everything having to do with filming has helped me a lot.
I guess I should say that professionally, I did get a lot of experience because I got like my first my first job was as an editor for a basketball agent, and I edited like highlight reels. So I learned more about editing there, but I already knew about editing. Then I got a job at like a internet marketing company. I don't even know what to call StomperNet. It's not around anymore. It sucked.
It was a scam.
That company was real weird, and I didn't stay there long. But I got that job because, and this like tells you about them. I was like, in my resume as a footnote, I was like, I have a video that got at the time like 3 million views, and they were like, you're hired. Like that's all they wanted to know. I was like, oh, okay.
When I very briefly worked at GameStop, I was there as an assistant manager, and I put on my resume that I participated in a Super Smash Brothers tournament.
Didn't win, just participated.
Didn't win, just participated. Granted, I think they hired me because I was a girl. Let's be honest.
They did.
But
I mean, didn't they like almost say as much?
Yeah, they pretty much said as much. And I was like, cool. And then it was awful. If any of you guys have ever worked at GameStop, you might know what I'm talking about and agree. Terrible. I mean, it might be better now, but just a terrible work environment, terrible everything. The way that they have everything set up for their employees sucks.
But I was going to say the job at Stompernet got me a job at some of the people there also didn't like it. And so they splintered off and made like a legitimate internet marketing agency. And I became their video marketing person. So I learned a lot there. But I was learning how to do video marketing for like lawyers and stuff. And that was not fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I still did YouTube stuff and started Star Wars Explained while I was there. So I would say that I professionally learned a lot before starting the channel.
Yeah, I mean, just generally speaking, the experience that we got by just going to college and getting these other random jobs has helped immensely. I worked in retail for, God, I don't even remember how long. Maybe like 10 years, probably over 10 years. I worked in retail. And so I have a lot of respect for people that work in retail because it is really hard. It's rough. It's a lot of hours for not a lot of pay. And just like the environment sucks. And hopefully you have a good boss. I was lucky to have a couple of really good bosses along the way, but I also had really bad ones. But like, especially during the holidays, I am just like, I try to be so nice and so patient anytime I speak to anyone in customer service or at a retail place because those people are just like
They're going
so
through it.
on the edge. People are just, especially after COVID, people just are so mean anytime they're just a little bit inconvenienced, and it still blows my mind how mean people can be to customer service workers. Anyways, hopefully that helps and answers your question. There's some life advice for you. Oh, and Emmy has their message in the chat somewhere. Where did it go? Here we go. Oh, Merry Christmas to you both and all the viewers. I'm on Christmas leave from the Royal Navy, and you kept me going. 8 years subbed. Wow. That's awesome.
That's crazy.
What's the Royal Navy?
British Navy?
I guess. I don't know what that is. I'm going to look it up. I just want to see what their outfits look like.
I did something wrong as usual. Wait, did I? Yes.
United Kingdom's Naval Warfare Force.
That's cool.
That's really cool.
8 years?
They've been subscribed to us for 8 years, I think.
Oh, okay. I thought it was 8 years at sea.
Oh.
I was like, oh my gosh.
No, I hope not. But thank you. We appreciate your super chat and your message, and happy holidays. What'd you do wrong?
I just messed up the order of... That's right. That's right. Okay. I only did a couple things wrong.
Lightspeed Bear has a super chat. Feels like Skeleton Crew is doing more character moments at the moment. KB's high five with Wim, Fern opening up to Wim, all the Neil stuff. Long may it continue. Yeah, I really am enjoying the character building going on with these kids. I do hope that we get more for KB. She hasn't had a ton to do, and we don't really know a lot of her like motivations yet. I think we'll get there, but having a more Neil-centric episode was just so delightful.
I agree. I was very happy that they really just focused on character for an episode. I think I'm realizing that I just like slow burn shows, that not just Andor, but like The Expanse. That may have been my turning point, because it took me a few tries to get into The Expanse, where I was like, I'm enjoying this, but it starts so slow. But on my third try, I finally like got to the point where it just like starts cascading, and it's because they spent so long setting up the characters, and not just their relationships, but like how Earth relates to Mars and how the both planets relate to the belt, and then it all makes sense when everything just starts happening and never stops happening. So I'm like, yeah,
Well,
I could have used a little more character stuff, but now that they're doing that in Skeleton Crew, I'm like, okay, I'm fully on board now.
that works for shows that have multiple seasons.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
nowadays, you can't rely on that
Agreed.
for a lot of shows, especially Star Wars, especially after The Acolyte. I kind of am now just going into Star Wars shows like, well,
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't want to get too attached, or I'll still get attached, but I will go into every episode kind of knowing slash thinking this is a one season, one and done show. I know they said they had a plan for season 2. Leslie Headland said the same thing about The Acolyte. So
I felt
it's
the same way when John Watts was like, we definitely have a plan for a second season. I was like, okay.
that
I'm gonna
doesn't.
pretend that this is a one and done. I hope it's a one and done. Like, I hope it's set up that way.
Mhm.
You can always do more.
Yeah, I'd be totally fine if it was a one and done because my expectations aren't up to the point thinking that we are getting any more but just the one season. So, yeah, I think anyone making a new Disney, like a new Star Wars or Marvel show will say at some point, yeah, we have a plan if we want to do a season 2.
Mm-hmm.
You always have a plan.
I do think that is, yeah, part of the, I don't want to call it marketing, but it's like creator marketing of being like, if you want more, let people know because I
Mhm.
have more ideas. But it's like, it's not Disney making that push. It's John Watts making that push.
Right. And it's the executives who are like, the ratings weren't there. You're done.
Yeah.
Move on to the next thing. So,
Meanwhile, it's so rare that I run into anyone that watches For All Mankind, a show that we adore. It's going into its 5th season. There's a spin-off on the way, and like Apple's like, I don't know.
such a good show. And they've poured so much into it. It's crazy. And like we've talked about this before, but the Apple streaming shows just, I think they tend to be better because the Apple TV streaming stuff is not their main source of income. It's not their main bread and butter. They have technology. The streaming shows, everything on Apple TV is like their little side business,
Yeah.
and they can dedicate a lot more time.
I think
They can eat the cost a little bit better.
they can show that, like, hey, look, we're making really good stuff, and they can kind of just wait out all the other streamers in the streaming wars. Amazon Prime's kind of in that position too,
Yeah, although they blew all their money on Rings of Power.
but they're like,
Not all of it, but yeah, a lot of it.
probably not close to all of it.
But, like-
but they committed. They're like, we're gonna do 5 seasons of this show.
And it's good that they did that. I wish they would do that with Star Wars shows. Like, say, we're committing to this many seasons because Rings of Power, for me, it was a little rocky starting out, but I loved season 2. And it was like a kind of a slow burn. And like, for me, season 2 just like made more sense and it felt more comfortable. And I don't know, I just like felt like I got it. And maybe that's because I spent a little more time trying to understand season 1. But anyways, I don't know.
You just need to talk to Ashton. That's our
Okay.
Yeti Boatman knows all you need to know. We did at our winter cabin trip. Yeti Boatman, if he's still here, I don't know, but he did a PowerPoint presentation. We had like a PowerPoint party, and he explained the Silmarils in a very funny way. But I was also like, I understand it more now.
I need to go back in my phone and look because I know I took pictures of a lot of stuff, but I also took some video, and I'm like, I wonder how much I could get away with of putting some of Zach's PowerPoint in the Q&A. Our friend Zach did a PowerPoint of why Anakin sucks, which was hilarious.
It was also satire.
It was satire, sure. Um,
It was basically why kid Anakin
Kid Anakin sucks.
Kid Anakin sucks. Adult Anakin is awesome, but for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
He probably wouldn't want you to post that.
No. Not with him in it, at least. But now all of you know who did it. Oh, Yeti Boatman says season 2 fixed season 1 of Rings of Power for me. I think I would agree with that. I felt like I just wasn't smart enough for season 1, and I was like, I really liked it. I don't know that I got most of it, but I'm enjoying it. I watched it either way. Okay, let's see. Lightspeed asks a super chat and says, what software do you stream with? It looks amazing. So the software, I don't know that has much to do with how it looks, but what software do we use to stream?
OBS.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's more, we're using, also Molly has her good lens on the Lego camera.
Well, that's the only one that we have that has a zoom on it.
But yeah, we've got Sony A6400s as those are the cameras we shoot with, and they have little HDMI ports, so you can use them as webcams, which is a little much, but
it is overkill.
But it does look good.
But me being me, now that you know my background in camera and photography nerdiness, that is why our cameras look good, because I insisted upon it. But honestly, the Sony A6400s, those are old cameras, but they are still great to use.
Are they old?
They're pretty old, yeah. And like, because we don't really use them for anything other than streaming and filming very simple things, we don't need too many like bells and whistles, you know. It's just honestly the best thing you can do to make your stuff look good is get a really nice lens and fix your lighting. So we have 3 lights on us right now and really good lenses, and that makes the biggest difference.
Even just having lights with like a not great webcam,
yeah, I mean,
it makes a huge difference.
I think lighting probably above your lens quality. Lighting is going to make it the best difference for not a lot of money, especially after the pandemic. I feel like everyone figured out how to use a ring light after they had to go to work on Zoom. People were like, oh God, why do I look terrible
oh, no.
on my webcam? It's because you don't have a light. And then when we do our other show live streams, we just do that on StreamYard.
Yeah.
Which I think is free, but then you have some upgrades if you pay for it.
Yeah, they have options, kind of like Zoom.
Before I move on, real quick, Tom in asks, what are Alex's thoughts on the Superman trailer? Saw Molly's tweet. I didn't say I hated it.
What'd you tweet?
I said...
What did you tweet?
I said, why is there no dialogue? It looks like an MCU film.
Well, it is James Gunn.
Yeah.
But it's a teaser trailer. I mean, I know so little about Superman, like, lore. I loved the use of John Williams' score. But
I did read.
Version.
I did not realize that was John Williams, and then I read afterwards, and I was like, I'm in.
Obviously, John Williams makes everything better. Most of it, I was like, I don't know what I'm looking at, really. I know Nicholas Holt's playing Lex Luthor. I loved Crypto. Don't know anything about Crypto, but Strong Dog, I'm there for.
The dog, yeah. I was like, why is this dog so strong and so fast? Is it from Krypton?
I guess. See, I don't know. I'm trying to remember what else was in there. Like, I liked the Clark Kent Superman look, although I thought it was very funny what you said that, like, does he take a straightener into the phone
His
booth?
hair is too curly.
It's like, it's so curly when he's Clark, and then when he's Superman, he's got to run in and straighten his hair.
You got one curl in the front. That's all you get.
6 inches. But I appreciate that he was doing a little bit more for the Clark Superman persona to separate them.
He looks like he's using a little mousse, a little gel, giving his hair a little scrunch. I don't
Um,
mind it, but I'm just like, oh, interesting choice.
yeah, I don't.
Gen Z broccoli hair is a good disguise. You are correct, Ann Porkins.
I did.
Oh
I
my
watched
god,
it.
I didn't even make that connection, but you're right.
I watched it first thing when I woke up today. Uh, and I'm trying to just remember what happened in it now. But it was all like it's a teaser trailer. It's just
Sure.
supposed to give you like a vibe and just here are some cool images for people who are in the know, which are not me. Which is not me.
The last Superman movie I really liked was the one with Brandon Routh.
That's all right.
That's my honest take, and that is coming from a very casual Superman viewer. I mean, obviously, I love the original.
It's just what there's one, two, three, four. Superman Returns. That's the Routh one. And then the Zack Snyder stuff, which I was not a fan of.
No, I don't need it. I don't want it.
Just going into Leslie mode. Yeah, I mean, like I like two fine, but honestly, one's my top easily.
You can't beat.
Christopher Reeve
Uh,
is so good.
I was going to talk about Lex Luthor, the original.
I think, I mean,
Gene Hackman.
Jesse Eisenberg wasn't going to beat him, but Gene Hackman is fine. Like
He was a lot sillier
yeah,
of a Lex, but he's still great.
yeah, he does not make that movie for me. It's all Christopher Reeve. I think him and Lois, their relationship is great. I love everything Christopher Reeve did, but
Oh yeah, Lois. What's her name?
I haven't been in the Schmodown in a long time. But
Anyways,
I watched all the Superman movies when I was in the Schmodown.
she's great.
Kit?
Anyways, uh, yeah,
Margot Kidder?
there's a reason why we are Star Wars explained and not DC or Superman
Is
explained.
that something?
Just
See,
like
now you got me thinking
Margot
about
Kidder.
Margot Kidder. Yep.
Thank you, Pancho Mike.
Still got some stuff up there. Just takes me a second. I'm like SM33. My ears start smoking when I think too hard.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Samuel Rogers reminded me that there's that Christopher Reeve Superman documentary
Yeah.
that I really want to see. Yeah, I don't want to hate on. I shouldn't hate on any of the newer Superman stuff, but I'm just as a very casual fan of like DC stuff, I feel like I'm allowed to be like meh about some of that
It
because it's not really
just
my thing.
after years of the DCU was not doing it for me. The Zack Snyder, except I liked Wonder Woman a lot, but other than that, I was like, eh.
I thought Wonder Woman was fine. I don't think oh shoot, what's her name that plays
Gal
Wonder-
Gadot.
Gal Gadot. She is a very flat actor
That's fair.
in my opinion.
That's fair.
And I was kind of just like, okay. But I mean, you can kind of chalk that up to her being from that other planet.
Earth?
No, she's not from Earth.
Yes, she is.
No, she's from that
Yeah.
planet of lesbians.
It's on Earth though. It's
Oh,
an
it's-
island.
Oh, well, no one else knows about it, right?
No, except Chris Pine, but he died.
Anyways, I don't get into too much DC talk.
DC Talk. Loved that band growing up.
Huh?
It was a Christian band that I listened to a lot growing up.
Oh, God. CC Pruitt, thanks for the super chat. I like turtles. What is your all's most memorable Christmas? Ooh, big question.
Golly.
Well, it hasn't happened yet because I've never gotten a turtle for Christmas.
Aw,
I'm just kidding.
that's cute.
My most memorable Christmas, I think, would be the year that I got this like big race car track system. And it was one of those things very similar to A Christmas Story, if you've seen that movie, where it was like I opened all my presents and I was kind of like, I got a lot of cool stuff. And this was like when I was probably 12-ish. And then my parents were like, oh, what's that over there hidden behind the door? And it was like, they didn't even wrap it because it was like a huge box. They just kind of put a blanket over it and stood it up behind the door. So they had it hidden away. And that was like my last little surprise gift. And it was just a big Hot Wheels race car track system that apparently I was super into back then.
It was like one of those that you would set up. You'd make your own course, and it had like the little motor that would shoot the cars through.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I always wanted one of those.
It was pretty cool.
I remember, and I like remember gifts. I don't remember specific Christmases. Like I remember the year I got a Game Boy, which changed my life. Because I loved my Game Boy all the way through Game Boy Advance SP. I remember getting like this Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Turtle Zord thing that you opened up and it was like a play set. I remember getting a ton. One year it wasn't like one big gift. I got a ton of I've got all of them still, but like the Micro Machines, an X-Wing, an A-Wing, a TIE Fighter, the TIE Interceptor, and it was just like I got this whole navy of Star Wars ships.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome. I remember getting Pokemon one year, where I was like months late to that fad, but
I never had any like portable game systems, I don't think. Speaking of Pokemon, we did talk about what all the kids in Skeleton Crew, what their Pokemon starters would have been, which was kind of fun.
yeah, I liked that.
So we decided that Fern was going to be Charmander. Whim was Pikachu, which you had a reason for.
Yeah, I think I'm brilliant for that. Because in the anime, I believe the reason Ash gets Pikachu is because he slept in or missed the time when 11-year-olds choose their Pokemon. And so all that was left was Pikachu, and he's like, oh no. Because I guess that's a bad starter.
Pika.
And then I got Pokemon. I got Pokemon Red, and then later I got Pokemon Yellow, which is when you get Pikachu as your starter. And there's a little surfing mini game that was a lot of fun.
I never really played Pokemon. I played Pokemon Go for a little while.
My favorite
really into it.
thing that we've ever done Pokemon wise is when you started Pokemon. We like got it and I was emulating it up to the TV, and you went and picked Squirtle or Venusaur. It wasn't Charmander, but you wanted Charmander, but you kept mashing A, and then they're like, great, you chose Squirtle, and you were like, what?
Boo.
I don't want this.
And then I quit.
Yep.
And
That's
I
as
was
far
like,
into Pokemon you got.
I'm done. We did decide Neil was going to be Squirtle because Squirtle was a water Pokemon, and I was like, he loves his bubble baths.
Yep.
So that makes sense. And we couldn't really justify Bulbasaur going to KB other than I said technically his what's his thing?
He's got a gadget.
No, he has an accessory.
Accessory. They all do.
Set Pass has a super chat. Thank you, Set Pass. Have you seen the season 17 Queen reveal? Oh. Who all stuck out to you? I think that's a
Drag Race.
Drag Race. I have not watched season 17. I've actually not seen a lot of the seasons, but
Molly's making her way through Drag Race.
Yeah.
From the start.
I can't remember how far I got, but then I took a break and I need to get back into it because, okay, yeah, no, I haven't watched any of the new stuff, so I don't want spoilers.
They did announce Drag Race adjacent that they're doing more Dungeons and Drag Queens on Dimension 20,
Yeah.
which we should watch more of. We only watched the first episode of that.
Was that only the first episode?
Yeah.
It was so
It was
long.
2 hours, yeah.
So I don't think I was truly prepared for a 2-hour video when we put that on. Maybe I need to find some of the highlights or the clips online, which I know sucks. Like I've turned into one of those people that is like, show me the clips. And as someone who literally despises having to edit out clips for things like TikTok, I have turned into the person that I hate, but I get it. I don't have time to sit and watch something for 2 hours.
I don't really watch like full plays. The only one that I've done for a D&D show is the Never Stop Blowing Up, which I loved because I loved that format. But I'd give Dimensions and Drag Queen Dungeons and Drag Queens another shot.
Drag Queens. I mean, yeah, because Bob the Drag Queen is on there. Hilarious.
I love their vibe because like they don't know
Alaska?
what they're Alaska. The who's in the sleepover? Monet?
Monet's in it?
Yeah.
I thought it was Bob the Drag Queen.
No, Bob's in it too.
Oh, they're both in it.
Yeah. Monet Exchange, is that?
Yes. And I forget the other queen's name.
But the way they treat Brennan is hilarious because they don't really know what they're doing. But when one of them is like, I'm invisible, and then I put Alaska, I carry her like I'm like a piggyback, and that makes her invisible too, right? Like just very intense.
Jujubee, yes.
Jujubee, yeah.
Yeah, that is how I aspire to play any D&D game. Just complete chaos. I don't care if I know the rules or not. That's what the DM is for. You can tell me what I can and can't do.
You've got to bully your DM, right? Right, Yeti Boatman? This is me just seeing if my DM
Him
is still
and Sean
here.
are in the chat.
You got to bully your DM, people.
I'm going to continue to bully any DM that I work with. Not bully so much as like
make your DM cry.
Push them, Yeah,
we're just pushing them to grow.
Push them to new heights. Hopefully not off a ledge, just new heights.
Sean will probably be excited to hear that at our Secret Santa this past weekend, I got the Kids on Bikes rule book. So I'm reading through that. I do want to DM my first game at some point, so I'm prepping.
We need to design a Star Wars Kids on Bikes.
That's exactly what I want to do. That is my goal.
Gregular has the next super chat.
That's a great name.
Happy holidays and almost anniversary. Your first video turns 10 in 2 weeks. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. January 5th, I believe, was my first upload. Wilrow Hood. Explained in a minute.
That's true. Okay, we did talk about next year being our 10-year anniversary for the channel.
Well, in January at some point, whenever Skeleton Crew wraps up and I'm done talking about it, I've planned a new video about Wilrow Hood.
Wilrow's 10-year anniversary.
Yep.
And then Gregular also says, what moments would you put in the Best of Star Wars Explained collection?
Oh.
We did talk about doing like a little anniversary video where we talk about our like favorite channel moments, so maybe we should do that.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Streaming with Katie Sackhoff comes to mind.
And Sam Witwer.
Yeah. Surprise appearance by Sam Witwer.
Anytime we got to do anything at a celebration.
Yeah, going up onto the not the celebration stage, the Star Wars show stage to break down the Rise of Skywalker trailer was a lot of fun. Like, that was wild.
New Celebration badge art just dropped.
Ooh. What they had released before, I loved. Doing the trip earlier this year was crazy. getting the invite to go meet Leslie Headland and the surprise Dave Filoni appearance.
Oh yeah,
That was wild. The Andor premiere, uh, that was like
that was our first
that was our
premiere.
first premiere, and like still I'm like, I don't know why that happened. It's just like I'm very grateful. It was just like such a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
But that we got to do that with like Triad of the Force and That Gay Jedi, and like just a bunch of our friends were out there, and so and it was all of our first premieres, and so that was just a fun time. Even if I had hated the show, that would have been great. Fortunately, I loved it.
Ooh, yeah, I love this new artwork. Oh, there's a Ventress one.
That's sick. Sabine's great.
Sorry, if you go to the Star Wars Celebration Instagram, they posted their new artwork for the badges.
The Ventress is
good.
really good. I might like get if they're selling just a poster of all the badge art or something. I might grab that.
Yeah. Iro, sorry, I did skip your super chat. Let me scroll back up. Hey, Alex and Molly.
Iro?
Love y'all's Rebels vids. Will y'all watch/review Star Wars Theories Vader Episode 2? It's a passion-filled $1 million 30-minute film with Nick Gillard. I don't know. I don't watch that many fan films, really.
Yeah, it's just not what we do.
Yeah. I'm sure he worked really hard on it, though. So, and then said, it's the super chat that reminded me that I skipped that one. Hey, y'all skipped my super chat. I'm poor, much love. I'm sorry.
Just put that in the chat. Don't.
Yeah, you didn't have to send another
don't super chat again.
Super chat. But yeah, I don't know. Probably skip that one. Oh, okay. So back to the channel anniversary. We might actually do a little video highlighting some specific stuff, just since the next year will be the anniversary. So keep an eye out for that. Maybe we'll go into more detail about some of the best moments that we've had in the channel.
I said like 3. Well, you said the celebration thing. Do you have any more?
I said like any moment for celebration, really. Anytime we get any fan mail or like anything to the P.O. box, we've gotten some really, really amazing letters from people just saying some insanely nice things.
Yeah.
That have made me absolutely break down into tears. We did our meet and greet in Anaheim.
Yeah.
Was it Anaheim or was that the one that we had a lot of people for, or was that London?
Both of them.
I can't remember. No, I'm thinking of the one in Anaheim because we got to do that at the Lego booth, right?
Yeah, that was fun.
That was cool.
Yeah.
We met a lot of really super nice people there and took a lot of fun pictures. It was great. So like, I think for me, doing stuff at celebrations really is what makes me realize that what we're doing is important, because I see it in comments and messages and things like that, but like getting to meet people in person really solidifies it.
Like there's no substitute for celebration. Like I love doing Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah. Honestly, when we started live streaming more during the pandemic, I think that was a really fun turning point. Despite the pandemic being terrible, you know, it did lead to us doing more live streams, which has led to a lot of fun moments.
It was mentally helpful.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Andy says Anaheim had the panel with no room left. So yeah, the HoloNet stage is what they've turned into the podcast stage now. We are not doing that in Japan, sadly, but part of it was because the room that they give for the HoloNet stage is so small. We didn't want to have another instance like we did in London where people were waiting in line for 2 hours plus and a bunch of people couldn't even get in. So part of it is that. Part of it is we
I
were
mean, London was
so
a
busy
lot.
that we were just kind of exhausted doing that. So we kind of wanted to take a step back and one, just enjoy ourselves and like enjoy Japan, and two, like give us a little bit more breathing room for that weekend to not have to worry about trying to do a live show. So sadly, we won't be doing one, but
That's
we'll be
we
able
just
to get more content done.
yeah, just decided not to apply this year. But hold on, someone sent me a message and was like, "I got accepted to the HoloNet stage and I've never done it. And do you have any advice?" So I'll shout them out if I can find it real quick. Expediente Gonk.
Oh, cool.
So keep an eye out for their panel.
I guess I shouldn't speak poorly about doing that because it has
No,
been really fun, but after the very first year, I feel like just the room availability that they gave people for the HoloNet stage has been kind of
well, it's maybe next time we'll submit for like an actual panel.
yeah.
Uh,
We'll figure it out. We just didn't want to have to deal with it while we were in Japan because we knew we were going to be super busy.
I'll already be stressed.
Yeah. We might still try to do a meet and greet at some point. We got to figure all that out still.
That is stuff that we tend to not. That's another thing that it lets us be more flexible,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't plan any of that stuff until we know what the schedule is like.
Yeah, which
Because obviously we don't want to be like, we're gonna have a meet and greet during the Andor premiere that
right.
I think they will probably do.
Yeah. Yeah, and like the last time they dropped Obi-Wan early, which kind of threw a wrench in a lot of our plans. So it was kind of just, we'll just wait until we know a little bit more before we plan anything.
Celebration is the best and the most stressful all at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. Bill Rooklyn has the next super chat. Do you think we'll ever see Sam Witwer in a live action Star Wars role, not just a voice role? Happy
Yes.
holidays.
I think it'll happen.
Oh, I do too. He's got to make it in there at some point. Maybe not a main role because he's so kind of recognizable.
It is like he's in this weird spot as like he is such a big part of the fandom. I feel like that unless he were playing Starkiller in something,
Yeah, I mean,
it'd be hard to like break out of that thought.
if they have his hair be really different, because like Starkiller, he's got his head shaved, and that's like a very specific look. But now he's a little bit older. If they changed his hair, I think they could make him look different enough to where it wouldn't be too distracting for him to have like a live action role. But I could see it more like a little background side cameo almost. Not a cameo as Starkiller, just a cameo as like random townsperson.
It was really fun to see him and Leland Chi talk on the 501st charity stream that happened like a week or two ago. But they talked about meeting and working on The Force Unleashed together, but also his role in Battlestar Galactica, which that's kind of why he popped into that Katie Sackhoff stream because they were both on BSG together. But
we didn't know that was going to happen, and we were like, "Oh God, what do we do?"
Yeah,
he's doing the monologue from.
Oh yeah, that was cool. Someone donated enough to Amphar, that was the charity we were streaming for,
Yeah.
that he was like, I will read the Sith code, and he read it as the Son and Palpatine and Maul. And I
Yeah.
was like, that was rad.
And I was like, what's happening? Is this real life? Oh, okay, so Vox wait. V0X3LC0D3. What does that spell?
Voxel code?
Voxel code? I'm sorry if I don't get what your username says. I'm old. But I spelled it out. Thank you for the super chat. Would you rather speak like a Wookiee for 5 minutes after every time you sneeze, or only be able to pronounce Obi-Wan Kenobi as Obi-Ron Kenoki from now on? Happy Life Day.
For 5 minutes?
Oh,
I'll do the Wookiee.
Wookiee for 5 minutes.
Wookiee sneeze. Yeah.
We would be a laughing stock of the YouTube community if we could never say Obi-Wan Kenobi's name.
Why can't they
right.
say Obi-Wan Kenobi? Can't say I remember no Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Although that might be funny, and that might be a bit good enough to like bring in a whole new audience to be like, look at these idiots who can't say Obi-Wan's name. But I liked that. I like that for a Would You Rather. That reminds me of the Parks and Rec episode of Tom in the hot tub.
Forgot to mention, the Wookiee is a racist.
Yeah. He always has like a little...
These jokes are all for Ann Porkins and no one else.
Or anyone who has seen all of Parks and Rec. I do want to highlight in chat, Saturn537 said, one of the funniest moments I can remember was that time Alex was hosting a panel and said something like, "Hi, I'm Star Wars from Alex Explained."
That was Dragon Con last year, not this year, but 2023. I was up partying, drinking until
at Dragon Con
4 a.m. And
we don't do that.
Then had to host a panel at 10 a.m., moderate a panel. And what did I say? My friends thought it was hilarious and wouldn't let it go the rest of the weekend.
Hi, I'm Star Wars from Alex Explained.
No, I don't. It was, I think I said something like, and I have a Star Wars channel called YouTube Explained. It was something like that. But yeah, it was dumb. And immediately I was like, nope, that's not right. But that's why Dragon Con's great, because everyone understood. They were like, it's 10 a.m. and
it's 10 a.m.
We all know what we did last night.
Yeah. We went on a journey last night together.
Yeah, I was like 6 hours ago, I was in a Slave Leia costume.
Hud Slayer Leia, but yes.
Yes.
Was that... Wait, we do those on Sunday nights. Was that on a Monday?
No. We do it Saturday night.
Saturday night. So, okay, that must have been
a
Sunday morning, 10 a.m.
It was either that or Wizard's Night, and either way, it's not good for me.
Yeah, I have officially shied away from doing very many panels. I'll do them occasionally, maybe one or two, but Dragon Con is very much a Molly and Alex go as Molly and Alex, not Star Wars people, except for trivia, which is still very like laid back and just for fun. But I don't want to go to Dragon Con and have it feel like work.
I'm still happy to do like panels and interviews and stuff there. But yeah, it is, the older we get, I'm like, I do want to hang on to like Dragon Con makes me feel young. We've been going for 15 years, I think. And we've aged 15 years for sure. By
going to Dragon Con for 15 years, I think we've taken at least 5 off of our lives total. I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
You are probably right.
Sean Sully, thanks for the super chat. You have my help designing kids on swoop bikes whenever you need it.
Thank you, Sean. I have several ideas for campaigns, but those are things that I want to film and do a thing with.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I would love an actual experienced GM's input.
Honestly, it would be really cute.
But I also want you to play in it, so that would be tough.
If let's say for whatever reason Skeleton Crew doesn't get a second season.
Oh.
And
just make our own second season.
We make our own.
It's not a bad idea.
We skip ahead to the high school years.
And just keep the characters don't age in our.
Well, listen, sometimes I feel like I don't think I could properly do a character who is too young to make dirty jokes.
Gotcha.
I want to age them up a little.
Everything Molly says.
I would want to age them up a little bit so that I could make the appropriate level.
That's fair.
Comments and jokes, if you get my drift.
When did Neil get so filthy?
Yeah. Neil's got girlfriends on every planet, if you know what I mean. Neil's bathtub scene, but this time it's a hot tub. Yeah. I love that idea of just like continuing, or, I mean, this might get a little more serious, but, and maybe not would work for the kids on bikes stuff, but like Acolyte, we could continue on in a role-playing sense, but I think we could have more fun if we just took the end of Skeleton Crew season 1 and made our own season 2 in a roleplay. That would actually probably do really well.
I mean, we could just make our own. The ideas I have are more based on Never Stop Blowing Up than Kids on Bikes, but a Kids on Bike story would be fun.
Yeah.
Oh.
I agree. Oh, earlier when we were talking about Dragon Con, Yeti Boatman said, "No, we're just experts now. We are experts at learning
grizzled veterans,
learning how to drink a lot into the wee hours of the morning and still get up and do a panel the next day." How we doing? Does it look like the sail barge yet? It looks like, honestly, this looks like a panel from the inside of the Falcon or something. Like, I don't know what am I looking at?
It's the base. Like, look, this is where you're going to be able to put characters. It's a play set. So, like, input a little Bib Fortuna right there. It's ready to party.
Cute. Love it. So that's the inside floor of the bottom floor of the sail barge.
I would assume so.
Are there multiple floors?
I don't know.
Who's that?
Nikto?
What's his name?
Nikto? I don't remember.
That's okay.
I'm definitely missing some pieces.
Uh-oh. Is there a Max Rebo minifig?
Yeah, and you build his organ, and I'm so excited.
Aw. We haven't gotten to that bag yet, but... Bib Fortuna's little, like, head tails kind of creep me out. They look like tentacles.
They always creep me out, too.
He just creeps.
Yeah, he's a creepy dude.
He's a creepy dude. Creepy eyes and creepy teeth. Like, a lot of the other Twi'lek men from other stuff don't creep me out as much as he does.
Oh, that's where that goes. Okay.
What do we think about a dark side Yoda species?
A whole species of dark side Yodas?
No, just the species of Yoda, but dark side.
Yeah, sure. I'm into that. I mean, they can't all be good and adorable. There's got to be one.
That's like saying, though, that like Neil's species has a dark side.
Yeah.
No. Can't be.
They can't all be good. There's got to be an evil. There is an evil Ansel in Young Jedi Adventures. I was like trying to think of other cute
Oh.
species. Babu Frick has an evil cousin or something.
I mean, yeah, I could see it happen. I don't think we'll ever
Just
see it.
because they're cute.
I don't think we'll ever see it in any official Star Wars canon. We kind of saw the closest I think we would get to a dark side Yoda species in the Clone Wars when he has to kind of like battle his dark thoughts.
Gotta fight his demons.
Yeah. Talking about Max Rebo reminded me this little guy. We gotta get
little overalls.
We gotta get little red overalls for our little Max Rebo Beanie Baby, and then we can make him into a Neil.
This does
a custom Neil plushie.
Look vague enough, especially since he has the arms.
Yeah.
But like the face, that could go either way. This could be a Neil.
Put him at the camera. It's so cute.
Give him a gun.
Give him a gun. We gotta put a little toupee on his head.
Yeah.
And put some red overalls on him. And I guess give him a gun. All right. Well,
I think that's that.
I think that's going to be it for tonight. We're going to go make some dinner. As far as streams for the next 2 weeks, we are discussing possibly combining the Lego stream and our Skeleton Crew coverage stream next week, doing that on Thursday.
We don't have a guest lined up for next week since it's Christmas, and we don't want to make anyone stream on Christmas, so
well, it'll be the day after Christmas.
Yeah.
But still, yeah, we don't have anyone lined up. We want to get through it a little bit quicker, so we might just not have a guest and do it here while we're doing Lego. So we might do that. So Thursday next week for that, and then New Year's week.
We'll see.
We will see.
I mean, we'll do it. I just don't know when. It might be Friday.
Yeah, Thursday's the 2nd. You might be recovered by then, but yeah, it'll either be the 2nd or the 3rd of January for the next one after that. But thank you guys for hanging out and tuning in, and thank you to everyone sending super chats. We love you guys. We appreciate it. Thank you to all of our channel members. We got to think of some new emotes and stuff for the channel members going forward. Ooh, we should do a little Neil head for Neil Nation.
I've got an idea.
Okay.
I just thought of an idea. I'll ask you.
Okay. All right, everybody. Have a great holiday. Have a great Christmas if you celebrate. And yeah, we'll see you guys here next week. Bye.
See ya.